Hi all. In this session, we'll try to understand how we can able to automate the integration as well as deployment process, that is from the scratch. That is whenever there is a developer commits new changes to the GitHub, so automatically it should be triggered and the job should be built by the Jenkins or the pipeline. Okay, and immediate after the build is success, the target or the archivals or the artifacts that should be bind with your Docker file, and that should be pushed to the Docker app. Okay, and same has to be pulled, and also the image that is sorry, Docker container should be run, and I can able to access the application outside the things. Okay, so to do all this automation from the scratch means by provisioning the infrastructure also, we'll go with the script only. So to provision the infrastructure, here I am using with Terraform, and along with that, the platform I am using here is AWS. And to automate or provisioning of the resources, the technology I'm going with Terraform, and also I'll be going with the Jenkins master. Okay, to build my application and to build the Docker images as well as pull the image as and also the push the image to the Docker. Okay, so now we'll go and try to see all those things. Before we go ahead with all the things, so I have already prepared the script, and let us go and explore what I have taken and why I have chosen those things and all. Okay, so for security reason, I have not provided any IAM credentials over here. I will be passing those things in the terminal itself. Fine. So as we all know, initially we need to provide the provider, that is which platform I am using. So whether AWS or GCP or Azure. Okay, so here I need to provide, and I need to select the region, in which region I am want my resource to be or the services to be provisioned. Okay, so thereafter here I have created the security group. So the security group, so this is the service name I am using inside the AWS, that is AWS security group, followed by the GTS API, that is the reference variable. Okay, so these value will be used in future, okay, for accessing the security group, this security group. Okay, and name of my security group is GTS API. Okay, so description you can provide as you want. Okay, and ingress is nothing but the incoming traffic. Okay, so what are the traffic that is coming to your service or the server, we call it as ingress. And from port, so whenever there is a request coming, so from which port it should be received, that is 30, that is 3306. Okay, so 3306 is for MySQL. Okay, and to the port, so listening and the sending port, here both ports should be same. So if it is a different one, you need to from update the from port. Okay, and the protocol here I will be using with TCP, and the block notation is for all network. So here I have not taken any desired network. Okay, so anyone with the port access, they can able to send. So same wise, here I have taken another port 4728. This is custom port, and since I'll be going with Jenkins, I have allowed the ingress of 8080, and 80 is for HTTP and HTTPS for 443, and along with that any other ports which is coming from. Okay, and SSH, here I will be going with the SSH also, and egress means outgoing. So outgoing means here I have not provided any restrictions to send or to generate any request to outside the internet from my server. Okay, so this is all about the security group. Next is we'll go with RDS, that is relational database system or the instance. Okay, so here we will be going with the RDS because we need to store and we need to retrieve the data, right, For that purpose, here we will be going with RDS things. Fine. Next is that is in AWS, the name of the resource is AWS DB instance. That is database instance. It comes under database. Okay. Again, here also I am taking the reference value for future research. Okay. So the name of the identifier. So you can give name of how you wanted to identify your database things. Okay. And the engine, which engine you are using. So here I'll be going with MySQL. If you want to go with SQLite or Oracle, you can go. And the instance, that is RAM, CPU, like things. Okay, instance class. And name of my database is, so the name of the database is to be provided properly. Okay, and the username as well as password, as along with that the storage, initial storage, I have taken 20 GB. And since it's a vertical scaling, so in case of any use data or transactions, it can goes up to 100 GB. Okay, so here I am giving the security group or the firewall constraint. So here I'll be using the same security group which I have created here. Okay, so how I can able to access? Look here, AWS security group dot, that is GTS underscore API is an object dot ID. So it is reference to this one, AWS security group dot GTS API dot ID. So it will be referred to the this security group. Fine. Along with that, multiple zone availability I don't want. So since it's for demonstration purpose, I have taken false. So you can make use true also. So when you want your data to be available in all the zones, fine on that case. And the storage type, I will be going with the basic one, GP3. And the backup retention, so I don't want any backup retention, so that's why I have taken 0. If you want backup retention, you can just type how often you want your data to be backed. Okay, and in case of any accidental deletion of your resource or the services, if you want your data to be secured as well as your table, whatever the things you have created, you can also store the snapshot also. So here I have skipped the snapshot, and I want these database to be accessed publicly. Okay, so for that reason I have taken true. So if I have not taken true means the people, they cannot able to access the things. Okay, and that is the part of RDS. And this is the instance or the server, I can say that. Okay, so AWS instance, and here I will be going with the Ubuntu. So for that purpose, I have just taken the Ubuntu instance only. And image name or the operating system. So you need to pass the ID. Okay, so where will you get this ID? So just navigate to AWS console. I will show that how to get that ID, and also the instance type. So you just select the instance type as per your requirement. Okay, and name of the key. So the key is for your encryptions. Okay, and here root block device, that is the root block device, we can have multiple fields. So in that I am taken the size, that is the volume size or the storage class. So by default it will be going to create with 8 GB. If you want more, you can just go with as you want. And the volume type also, here I am going with the GP3 only. Fine. So and also, so even whatever the resource or the services we going to create, that needs to be associated with the security group for your constraints, right? For networking constraints, and who can access, who should not access, all those things. So we need a security group. So here also we have associated the same security group. Okay, AWS security group dot GTS underscore API dot ID. Okay, and name of my instance is GTS. Okay, so here I have taken the user data, that is post initialization of the instance. What are the software that needs to be installed in your server? Okay, so initially I'm updating my instance or the Ubuntu. After that, I will be installing the Java and Maven. followed by I am installing the Jenkins. So why do I require the Jenkins? So I require Jenkins to automate the process orchestration, right? So here I won't be using code pipeline, which is part of a managed AWS service. Here I will be using with Jenkins. So this same script can be used with other cloud platform also. If you are going with the code pipeline, so only if your application is completely built for AWS environment. On that case, it will be fine. So if you thought of moving or migrating into other services too, on that case, it would be better for going with the Jenkins, so that wherever you go, the Jenkins script remains same. Okay, for that purpose. And post that, again, I will be updating the server, because I need to configure all the path and right. So for that, I need to update that. And again, I will be installing the Jenkins. Post that, here I have used, that is, I will be installing the Docker. So as I previously mentioned, so post build is successful. I need to keep that build file or my software that should be pushed to the Docker image. For that, we require Docker. And also, I have mentioned one thing. So we will be running the Docker container in the EC2 instance only, and we'll try to access that application outside the thing using some API calls. Okay. So for that, here I have used the Docker, and here I have also provided the Docker as the admin privilege. Okay, that is -ag Docker things for Jenkins only, for not other any other service. Okay, and I will be restarting the Jenkins also. Fine. So here is of end of it. So these are the dependencies or the packages that we're going to install once after creation of successful creation of instance. Okay, so they're on. So the output will be, if you want you can just retain the output, or if you want you can just ignore this line. So if you want your IP address to be viewed in this terminal only, on that case you can just go and have the output here. Okay, that is output instance underscore IP. So this is the reference variable, never ignore that. Okay, next is value, that is a AWS instance. So it will going to refer the AWS instance, my Ubuntu instance. So here the reference value, which instance I'm trying to access. If I have multiple AWS instance, means I should refer to which instance of IP I required, right? For that purpose, the reference will be used. Followed by what value you want. I want public IP. Same thing here. I have requested for the endpoint. So how public IP is provided to access my instance. Likewise, the endpoint is provided for the RDS things. Okay, so this is the part of infrastructure provisioning thing. Okay, so thereon, let me explain you the script also. That is the Jenkins pipeline script. So I have just my, since I am writing the pipeline, the root will be the pipeline followed by the agent is any, and here I have declared the instance variable or the global variable saying that environment. So Docker up credential is for like Docker up, and region, in which region I wanted to create. Here I have taken the region, and my Docker name, Docker username, followed by the name of the image. Like if I want to tag or the build my image, and if I want to push my image, so I want the name of the image, right? So here I have taken, and it should be of lowercase only. Okay, followed by I will be having the multiple stages. For that I have mentioned the stages here. So the first stage, what should be done? So I need to pull the code from the GitHub, right? For that I have taken the things, that is, you can just in the stage within the column you can provide the custom working agenda. Okay, followed by steps again. So git credentials id. So when you provide the credentials id, if your repo is private, so you need to provide the credential id and store it in the secret manager of the Jenkins. Okay, so that will be pulled here, and followed by the path to your repo, GitHub repo, and the branch. Fine. Followed by next step is, that is next stage. So the stage one will be cloning the repository. That's it, nothing more. In stage two, once the repository has been cloned, so since I'm running the Java based application, so here I'll be, that is the Spring Boot. So here I'll be providing the Maven clean package to build the jar file. Okay. So build with Maven. That is step. What step I'm using? So SH is nothing but script shell scripting. So that is Maven clean package. This is the command they have provided. Fine. Followed by next step. So once after the build is successful, so my image should be built. That is Docker file should be built. Okay. So here I have provided the name of the, that is the command. So Docker build hyphen tag is nothing but t. So here dollar, that is the value I am accessing from here, global thing. Okay, so that is the Docker username followed by the image name followed by the build ID. So if you are going with the latest one means, so there won't be any orchestration like that is archival ban. That is, you want to maintain the versions of each build, right? So definitely if changes have been made, each build will have the new feature like thing. For that purpose also, you need to differentiate the things, right? So on that case, the build will be, that is the build number will be specified. Or if you want to provide any other thing, that is the commit id, GitHub commit id, that can also be provided here. Okay, so for that you need to write the function to get the GitHub commit id. Thereon you can integrate here also. So since it's a built-in Jenkins script, so I am using the word or the keyword, that is build id. Okay. So followed by once the build is successful, that is whatever the image you are trying to build is successfully built in the agent server. Okay. So post that you need to push that image to the Docker hub, right? So for that stage, that is push to Docker. So to push to Docker, you require the credential. So Docker login. So here the Docker login things will be performed and post that the Docker. So whatever the data is provided here, so same data will be passed to here also, and it will be pushed to the Docker app. Post that inside the EC2 instance or in your agent server. It will go and check for the any containers which are running existingly, which is associated to this data. That is Netscape S9 followed by the name of the image. If it is found to be running, how it is going to found? So here we have defined the function, that is old container id, it's a identifier. So followed by the script I have written docker ps-q. So it will going to list all the running container id. So here I've used the filter for that. So the name, again it will fetch from the global instance and return to be true. If it is running, return standard output. Okay. So followed by if it is running, if container id, if it is exist means it will going to stop the id and it will remove the container, running container. Once it is stopped, we can only remove that, right? Post that. So if you are still retaining the older images, so it will cause you the storage issue. So you need to even you need to keep concern on the storage also, right? So if you are not running that image which is which was terminated container or the older container, so you don't require to have that image to be kept in the server. Okay, so anyhow, the image copy will be stored in the Docker app. If you want, you can just go and pull that also in case of rollback plan. Okay, so for that purpose, in local instance, we will be deleting the container things. Okay, container as well as the image which is associated to that. So again, we need to find the images, right? So for that purpose, same script will be given, that is the docker images hyphen and followed by name of the image and asterisk states like all the tags irrespective of 1 2 3 4 or latest anything, and standard output should be true. dot trim. Again here I am splitting, so it should go and check in the next line also and collect. So if you have multiple images, on that case it will going to work. Okay, so it will go and check in next line also, collect the all the images id, and it will find all. Okay, so again, old images ids dot each. So it will pick each id, image id. It will run docker remove image followed by the image id. So this will help us to remove the images also, older images. So post that, the newer images will be retained there itself, and it will going to pull, and it will going to run the latest image one. That is docker run -d, that is detached name of the container and followed by the port we need to provide, and username of the docker app, and the image name latest build. So this will help us to pull and run the container. So post that, we can access this application with the help of id, that is the public ip address of the instance. Okay, so if you are going beyond the thing, so assume that this is done for testing purpose. If it is for production purpose, they're going to integrate the load balancer thing. On top of that, they're going to integrate the API gateway, so that directly you won't be contacting with instance or the server. So you need to cross multiple things. So for enhanced security thing also. Okay, so this is the major script in this session we're going to use. Now we'll go and try to implement all the things. Okay, so here I'll be going with a new terminal, and we'll maximize that. Okay, so we'll be going with subsidiary system, that is WSL, for accessing the remote thing. Okay. Okay, so since I have already tried, so before we go and provisioning the things, so you need to export the value, or you can store the AWS credentials in secret manager also. Since I have already provided, directly I will go and run the script. So to run your Terraform script, that is .tf script. So initially you need to have Terraform init. That is, you need to initialize the Terraform in your directory. Okay. So post that. So let's wait for the initialization. Okay. So once the initialization has been completed, so you need not to go with validate, format, plan, apply like thing. So directly you can go with the Terraform apply. That is, the previous step automatically will come across all the things. So okay, Terraform apply. So the apply will help us to provision the infrastructure. So on top of that, you need to provide the AWS credential. Thereafter, you need to initialize the Terraform. Once the initialize has been completed, you can just go and pass the value like Terraform apply. Okay, so it will go and read the Terraform file. So one directory should contain the one Terraform file. If you have multiple file, it will get confused and conflict would be created. So my advice is to create one Terraform file within the directory, one single directory. Okay, so if you want to create another Terraform file, you just create another directory and place that file, Terraform file, inside that directory. Okay, so for managing the infrastructure, it would be more easier also. Okay, so now the before steps like validating, formatting, plan, everything will be happening in the background. So once after all those steps got completed, the Terraform apply will going to start implementing. That is, it will going to start creating the resources. Okay, so let me show you people before that is EC2 and RDS, whether it has created purely or not. Okay, just log on to your AWS account and switch to the region. That is, I have taken east north one, right? That is the Europe north one. So what are the resources we are trying to create? One is RDS, another one is EC2. Okay, so fine. So see here, so DB instance, nothing have been created so far. No instance found. See here, one terminated instance is here, and there is nothing, no other any instance. Okay, so now we'll go back and see the status of the Terraform apply. So what? Okay, so timeout while waiting for plugin to start. Okay, again we'll go and run the thing. So it will take some time to pop up. Okay, so let me resume back once I got a pop-up thing. Okay, so look here, so it will prompt you like this. Okay, so once after successful validation of your Terraform script and plan, it will going to. So the plan is three. So three things we are creating. One is security group, another one is RDS, another one is EC2 instance. Okay. So once you are confirmed with that, you can just hit yes, that is type and enter yes and hit enter. So it will going to create the instance, that is the resources. Okay, so see here, so it started with creating the AWS security group initially. So there on it started creating the Ubuntu instance, that is EC2 instance. Okay, so now it's still creating the EC2 instance. So parallel it has even started creating the database instance, that is GTS service platform derivative. Okay, so now the instance creation is in progress. So we'll go to that is AWS console, and we'll try to see whether the creation is happening or not. Okay, so we'll refresh the thing. See here, so automatically the creation of, that is the provisioning of the service is been going on. We'll try to refresh here also. See, so the creation is under progress. Okay, so meanwhile, let the database get created parallelly. So meanwhile, we'll go and try to create the, that is the configure the Jenkins. Okay, so to configure Jenkins, obviously we need to go inside the EC2 instance to get the address. Okay, so as of now, I am copying the public IP of the EC2 instance. So fine, we'll copy it and we'll pass the Jenkins port number 8080. We'll hit enter. Okay, so click on continue to site and it will take you to the Jenkins. Okay, so just copy this path and get inside your EC2 instance. Okay, now I will just take root access, that is sudo cat, that is the file reader thing. So I will copy the one time password, we'll copy this and we'll paste it here. Post that, click on continue. Again, install the suggested thing. Okay, so it will take some time to install all the packages or the dependencies. Fine. So we'll wait until the creation scan. Meanwhile, we'll just have a look out on RDS whether yes, even my RDS is also, that is the database is also created. Fine. So this, I will go inside my DB instance and I will copy the instance and I try to access my instance or the database from the MySQL workbench. Okay, and we'll configure the table as well as database there. Okay, so let this complete first. Thereon we can go and create the things. Okay, all right, and the username. Okay, so this is the Jenkins URL and start using the Jenkins. Okay, so now we are done with provisioning the RDS EC2 and we are done with setting up the Jenkins, and we are left with creating the tables as well as, that is automating the process of integration as well as deployment. Okay, so we'll go and try to look at that. Fine. First get into your MySQL workbench, click on the new connection. Okay, so here you need to paste the endpoint. Okay, and you can just provide the username as well as password to your database and test the connection, it will get connected. So I have already connected here, just let me get inside that. So fine. So now we'll go and try to create one by one table which is required to run that application initially. Okay, so we need to add another thing. Okay, we'll go and type here itself. Okay, so now one table got created. Hmm, so sometime it will get some error before we go and create the table, which is when there is a foreign key thing. Okay, yes. So now we are done with the creation of all the tables. Okay, okay, fine. Let it be there. So we'll refresh the schema initially. Okay, so here the database name. So why I have mentioned during the explanation of Terraform script to provide the proper database name because of this. So the DB name should be same while you are accessing your instance. That is the DB instance using the MySQL workbench. Okay. So as of now, there is no data have been created so far. That is, there is no user got signed up. Okay. So we'll keep this as of now, and we'll automate the Jenkins. Okay. That is, we'll go and configure the Jenkins, and we'll go and set up the Jenkins first. Okay. Okay. So we are running the Maven based application, right? That is Spring Boot based application. We will be using the dependencies, that is Maven, to run the Spring Boot application. So we need to add the dependencies or the plugin inside the Jenkins. So we'll go and type the Maven, and there you can see the Maven integration plugin. Okay, so we'll install this. So why we require this? So we require Jenkins to build the application, right? So for that we require Maven to be installed here. So we are done with installing the Maven. Okay, so once we are done with installing the Maven, so we need to store the artifacts and all the things. So we need to specify the path here. Okay, so I don't want to install the things, so we'll type here Maven home. Okay, so where will you get this Maven home path in your EC2 instance? So just navigate back to EC2, type mvn hyphen version. See here. So this is the path. Just copy this path and paste it here. So now it is not showing any error. So if you provide any different path, so it will prompt you the error actually. So you can just try it later. Okay. So now I'm done with installing the dependencies. Along with that, I have provided the path also, and now I need to configure the thing. So same from that is a dashboard. Come to manage Jenkins. Just get inside the credential and navigate to global things. Okay, so here add your credential. So I will pause this here and let me add the credential and we'll back. So now I'm done with setting up the credentials, that is the ID name as well as the kind I'm used. So we'll go back to dashboard. Okay, so now we'll go and create the new pipeline. So I will provide the name of my application or the microservice. Here I will be going with the pipeline. Click OK. So here I will be going with the webhook, that is GitHub hook. So here I need to pass the script. Okay. So that is the script initially I have explained you, right? That script needs to be provided here. Okay, we'll re-verify the credentials things. Okay, okay. So now we'll save the. So before that, we'll go here and we'll try to clear these. So we do not have any images, that is the Docker images, and we'll try to see that also the Docker. PS, that is current processing states. Okay, so nothing we have as of now. Okay, so now we'll go and build the job. So now the building is in progress. Meanwhile, we'll open the Docker hub. Along this side, we'll open the GitHub also. So fine. Okay, now we are in Docker. We'll go to hub. So when there is nothing new image have been pushed here, so we'll come here and we'll try to see the progress. So once after the successful have updated thing, you can just go and verify whether the image have been uploaded here or not. Okay, and also we'll try to see the image here and whether the container is running or not. So nothing have been doing here, just now the build is success. Okay, so now we'll try to navigate to the console and we'll see what has happened. Okay, so the pulling has been done, that is the Maven projects. Okay, so still it is Maven thing. Okay, you can just make out the stages. See, here it is. Yes. So from here, it was pulled from the GitHub, and the build was success during this time. And post that, the image has been built using the Docker file. So where I have kept the Docker file, so in the GitHub only. So you need to place your Docker file in the GitHub itself. Okay. So it will fetch from the GitHub, and it will going to build the thing in your EC2 instance. Post that, Once the build has been have good, okay, so the downloading the new image from the things and tagging, and it will be pushed to the thing. So now the login got success and the layer pushed actually. So now we'll go here, we'll go inside the identity service and we'll try to rectify whether the image have been pushed to the Docker hub or not. Okay. So look here. So 2 minutes ago. So the push was happened 2 minutes before, and the pull has also happened. Okay. And we'll go back here. Now we'll go and try to see the thing, that is Docker image. So now the Docker, that is the latest image, was pulled here, and we'll try to see whether the Docker is, that is the container is running and on. And now the container is successfully running. We'll try to access this application through the Postman. Okay. So in Postman, I have already created some test cases, which is provided by the organization, and we'll go and replace the public IP of the instance. Okay. So look here. So this is the public IP of my instance, and we'll try to send the request. Okay. So the request was successful. So the registration was completed. So just make out the user, that is user23 at gmail.com, test at 123. So here I have not gone inside the EC2 instance to pull the image and to run my container. So everything was completely automated. Okay. So and also we'll try to go and see in the database whether the data or the user has been created. So we'll fetch the data. So look here, user23 at gmail.com. So got successfully updated in my database. Okay. Now, so now I have just hit the build, right? So I want things to be automated. So whenever there is a new changes got committed in my GitHub repository, so automatically the build should be happened. For that we need to integrate the webhook thing. Okay. So for that you just get into your repository and navigate to setting, and you can able to see the webhook thing. Okay. So I have already created here, so no worries, I will let you people know how you can able to create things. So you need to provide, that is you need to authenticate yourself. Okay. So post that. So payload URL. So if you are going with the Jenkins thing, just copy the URL. Okay. And paste it here and just navigate back, type GitHub webhook. Okay. So that's more than enough. Just go and click the add one. Okay, since I already created it, so let me go and edit this also. Let me show you. So see here, so GitHub webhook, that's all. So nothing. So just click there. So automatically when there is a new changes got committed, so we'll go and try to update the things. Okay. .8080. Okay, we'll update the webhook. Fine. So look here, I have not hit any build button as of now. So the build is only one. So we'll now go and try to commit some changes. Okay, in Docker file only we'll do some changes. Okay, just get inside the Docker, edit the file. So just for the demo purpose, I am showing here. So in real time, everything will be pushed from the your console. That is the CLI mode only. Okay, so we'll now go and commit the changes. Okay, so for Docker file, the commit has been now updated. Okay, we'll navigate back to the GitHub, sorry, Jenkins, and the trigger should be happened here. Yeah, see. So automatically the build as in progress. Okay, so the build in progress, obviously the rest of the things will be done. So as we can make out priorly that here, so the tag one is running, as along with that the container is also running. So once the successful is happened, so we'll go and try to see first thing in the here. Okay, so now we'll go and refresh. Instead of refresh, we'll just switch the tab. Okay, so now the few second got ago. Okay, that is in general. Let me show you people. So this is the latest image which was pulled as well as pushed to. Okay, now we'll go and try to see in the EC2 instance. Okay, so we'll hit the Docker PS. So now the running container was latest one, that is 2. Okay, let me show you people. So the latest image which was pulled from the Docker Abyss. Even you can just deploy your application even in ECS or EKS too. But since it's not come under free tier, it will going to charge me a lot. So I am showing here only. Okay, so the latest tag was 2, right? So here you can see this 2. This is the running container. Okay, so we'll go and see the image. So the image is also 2 here. Fine. So this is how using only two script you can able to automate all the things. So from pulling the source code from the GitHub and deploying in your application. So if you want to re-verify the things, so we'll go and try to send the request to the server through the postman. We'll go and see that also. Since the new image has been updated, right? So we'll go and try to send some. So initially we have added the 23 user. We'll now add the 24 user to the database. So look here. So it was got 60. So, okay. So we'll go and try to log in. So since image has been changed, or the application which that is we have committed the new changes, right? So whether we can able to access the previously logged in data or not, we'll go and try to see that also. Just go inside the login API thing. Okay, so whether we can able to log in user or not, we'll see that also. Okay, we'll copy the username. User 23 was previously feeded in the initial image, and we'll take the password to that. Okay, and on top of that we need to replace the path. Okay, seems good. We'll go for authorization not okay. So we'll try whether we can able to log into the application or not. Yes. User logged in successfully. Okay. So now the session has been created with the help of token also. So this is how you can able to automate the things using the minimal script. So don't worry if you don't know how to integrate the script. That is the Jenkins script. So either you can go and refer the documentation also, both the Jenkins as well as Terraform, or else you can go with the open source. Previously, it will be available. Anyhow, just you need to modify the attributes based on your requirement. For that purpose, you need to have the at least intermediate knowledge of Terraform as well as the pipeline thing. So you need to know so where to configure, how it is fetching, and what value should be given to reflect changes and all. For all those things you need to have the basic knowledge of some Linux commands as well as Terraform as well as shell scripting. So this is all about automating the things. Okay, so post that okay. So anyhow, we have already provisioned the infrastructure, right? So for that, we have got the IP as well as the endpoint. So we have done with all the demo, and if you want to delete your created resources, instead of go and create that is destroying or terminating all the instance independently, just type the Terraform destroy and hit enter. Okay, so again, the procedure will be happen like validation plan, formatting thing. Thereafter, Terraform desktop will be applied. So it will take some few minutes. Post that, it will prompt you with the S command. So are you ready? That is cross verifying the things. Would you like to terminate all the resources and all? If you hit enter, so automatically the termination will begin. Okay, I will show you that also. So it is very much important. So while you are working with demo thing. So it is fetching the idea and it is cross verifying the things so which has been created priorly by looking by fetching the ID of the instance created. So look here. So now plan has been updated to 0. There is nothing to add, nothing to change. There is three things to be destroyed. So once you are confirming that, just type enter and that is type S and hit enter. So automatically, so the destroy or the termination process will begin. Okay. So let here start and we'll go and navigate to AWS console and whether we'll cross verify whether the deletion or the termination is in progress or not. Okay. Okay. Now we'll go to EC2 that is AWS console and we'll verify. So we'll close these, this, and we'll refresh that. So see here the terminate. The thing I've already got terminated and also will refresh here also. So the deleting is under progress. Okay. So this is how you can able to automate the provisioning the resources as well as deploying that is integration of the new code and deploying and uploading to the Docker hub and pulling and this is all the thing. If you have any queries with respect to automation thing and the process what we have done so far, just drop the message in the comment section and we'll get back to you. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for learning more.